Sometimes there are little blocks in creativity that are really silly. They're really, really silly. It can be something like, oh, I need to write this essay, but I just don't know where to start on this. And I wouldn't say that it's a good idea to get the AI to do all of your creative work, but I would say help me with the structure, because I'm stuck on, and then it will say, okay, there's a structure, and you go, and suddenly you unblock. My goodness, it's been what a year.
Oh, it's been hectic, but a lot of fun.
It's been so much fun. I've loved this year. So many things have happened. We've had some amazing guests on the podcast. Our community is just exploding at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, and the podcasts are going viral.
They're going viral. It's just been amazing. So we've had some really amazing successes with clients as well this year, which is not necessarily part of what we thought was going to be the journey of Sweet Liberation. But for about a year now, we've been kind of working with businesses behind the scenes, helping them kind of get things off the ground and
tailoring their plans, working with them, and actually offering the things that we're doing to those people.
Yeah, it's the digital systems. A lot of people are put off by kind of the whole online environment.
Yes.
And they don't know where to start, do they?
No, it's made up of a lot of components.
It is. I know. I think people just think, oh my gosh, this is the best statement. I don't do social media.
I don't do social media.
And then they don't say, no, my business isn't on social media.
Or they believe that the only thing you do online is have a website of about 5 pages.
Yeah, they think a website is everything. And then one of the things that I see that has been a problem as well, that of people we've worked with, is where they've got a website, that the only thing the website does, this is my bugbear, you know me, I start to get twitchy like this, where they have a website that is basically a yellow pages listing, and it doesn't take the customer on any journey at all.
No.
And then what happens is the people see the website, and then they see like a phone number, so then you've got to have someone to answer that phone, or an email or a form that they fill in. Yes. So there's literally no way of capturing that contact. People just jump on, jump off, and it doesn't take them through a journey at all. No. So one of the things is we've worked with some of the best
people, entrepreneurs and people within this digital market space.
I mean, we have trained with the best digital marketers in the world, hands down, no doubt about it. And we are, we've developed systems in our business as well, kind of modeling the best. The best, using best practice, and even when you implement some of these strategies, things are just like flying. They move so quickly. This has been the most exciting part.
It's been really exciting, and I think it'd be worth us just running through the elements of that we actually do.
So people come to us at all different stages of their businesses. Sometimes they've got an offer, they've been trying to get launched unsuccessfully, just because they're trying to be doing all the things and learning all the things. So they're reasonably well informed, but they don't know how to implement. So we get people at that end. We got people with a business idea and they don't know what to do with it. We get people complete startup idea, and kind of trying to get their offer up together. And then I've been working with clients that have got a business, have got an offer, just haven't got a website. They haven't got a process.
And sometimes people say to us, how do I get more leads for my business?
That's the other thing, leads as well, capturing leads. So we have helped people, whether it's creating processes, basically, whether it's, there was one client worked with where they're actually running a children's forest school. So that was one of the ones that I'd really enjoy doing, that one, and helping that client sort of get the processes up together to be able to run that school and take payments online and not have to do things via email and sending people to their sort code and account number.
Yes.
By WhatsApp. Things like that.
Yes.
So we don't need to do that. You need to be doing your business and thinking about scaling it, things like that. So we put in the processes. And then others, lead capturing leads, having a lead magnet.
Yes, absolutely. And can you tell us a bit about your story, Nabila? You've been in digital marketing for...
Oh yeah, I've been doing this now for 9, coming up for 10 years.
Wow.
I was one of the first ClickFunnels users. I was in doing ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels, for anyone that doesn't know anything about digital marketing, is a digital platform that helps small businesses to be able to have the systems they need to run their businesses and scale their businesses. So it's a platform. It's more than a website builder. It does all of that.
Yes.
So I was one of the first ClickFunnels users. ClickFunnels is coming up for its 10th birthday. And basically I was there in 2015 or something like that. It's a long time. And then
people were coming to you, weren't they, for consultancy at that time? And people were
and I've been doing that. I was doing a kind of a funnel helping people with a specific service that I was providing at the time. I was also building out infrastructures, and then I was working in government as well for a while during the pandemic. And I was creating digital systems within in a UK research department, in government research department, and I created entire digital systems. So I'm not kind of married to one tool or another. I've used a multitude of tools, and
the systems integration you know about. I mean, that's a bit about my background. I work for a systems integrator in software, and I love the way people take different bits of software, plug them together, and also helping people, taking people through a journey. And the other thing you're expert at is the copywriting.
The copywriting is really communicating with the stories and the customer, really understanding who it is you're communicating with. And actually, interestingly enough, with the copy side of things and the communication side of things, that's one thing that they pulled me in when I was working in the government department in this research study. I was actually I was working with the Cabinet Office communication department for the whole of the UK government, and they were picking my brains quite a bit because I had the digital marketing background, and sometimes there can be a massive gap between what people want to communicate and how they're communicating it. And I'm one of these people that can see a complicated process and make it very simple in words for somebody.
And also you're very good at identifying what somebody's perfect customer is.
All right. Yeah, perfect avatar. So we call that an avatar. And that's really understanding who it is that your perfect customer is, perfect client is, and really digging into their pain points, understanding them. I always say, walk a day in the life of that person. What do they have for breakfast? Where do they go for their coffee? Who are their friends? How old are they? What is their job? Like, you should know everything head to toe from that about that person, including what they're wearing.
Yes.
What they're wearing, what they like, what they don't like, their brands. Like, you should know so much that you should be able to walk a day in the life of that customer and know what their journey is. And that's that's sort of one of the superpowers I developed by doing this for such a long time now. It's like coming up for a decade. And a decade in digital is like 100 years. It's dinosaur, basically. You've been around a long time.
Absolutely. And the thing about what we do as well is the different levels can be a complete done for you service. So that people, if they don't know where to start and they're struggling, whether it's identifying who their perfect customer is, what the lifetime value is of that perfect customer, identifying that, developing the correct marketing messages. And with the things that we can do, it can be a suite of things that, as I say, they're done for you, or it can be different elements. If people already have...
Sometimes people, all they need is a bit of support, a bit of TLC, and a little bit of coaching. They actually have the skills, but they just need that encouragement. Some people are like, I don't know anything and I'm so overwhelmed. Can you do it all for us? And we've got an entire team now of people that are just amazing. Like, we literally have the best people on the planet working for us. We are so blessed. And so we can actually help customers and clients that come to us and say, yes, absolutely. If you don't worry, you deal with which is your superpower that you want to do, create content, right? You go create the content and we'll put it up for you. Or, they don't want to even do that. They want to go and actually be hands-on with their customers. They only want to do that behind the scenes things. Go, no worries, we'll create that content for you, systems for you, digital systems, payment systems. A lot of people don't even have that set up, Luke.
Oh, right.
So they've got business websites and they're taking money from clients and customers by sending them their account details. I mentioned, I inferred that earlier because it was a story I was telling. they don't have systems. So we actually can advise on that, because not only, I mean, I'm not, as I said, I've used all of the digital tools. We use ClickFunnels in our business, but I've also used Lead Pages, WordPress. I've built websites all over the place in all different things. Sometimes with tools I've had to kind of create and plug in myself, and apps I've had to create myself to be able to make things work. So absolutely, you know, kind of digital geeks we are behind the scenes here. So we can totally advise businesses what the best tools are, or the lowest cost tool option is always the lowest cost, wherever we can,
And there are other fantastic strategies which we are very much involved with, and that is things like adding an upsell to an offer, because it's a proven fact that people are, when they're involved with, they get involved with the digital side, you can increase the average cart value, as we call it, as much as 40% just by offering a simple upsell.
It can be a simple digital upsell. It can be, you know, an information product, something very simple to create. But again, you know, it's just understanding the strategy of all putting all of that together, because you're like, when you first come into this space, the digital space, it's huge. It's like a massive monster, and it's only got bigger really in the last, I would say, 2 years since the advent of AI popularity everywhere. And it's more confusing, not less confusing. So people are massively overwhelmed, like, where do I start? What they try to do, which is always, I find that really quite sweet, but what they do is they'll build what we call the front end of a website. So they'll like put some pictures of their business and things like that, and it has no functionality. So it doesn't assist them to run their business. What it does is it does provide some promotion, but it still means that they have to do a lot of work capturing leads and things like that, which they haven't got a system for. So what we like to do, and what I specifically specialize, is streamlining stuff and say, right, if your website isn't doing your heavy lifting for you, let's make it do all of the heavy lifting, give all the information that a buyer or a customer, client, a prospect needs, so that they can then make a purchase if they want, right there and then, and take a decision. They're like, they love you already, they want to take action, and to help them to do that. And that can cut somebody's workload in a small business by 80%. Imagine if you've got like in my case of one of my clients, where she had, you know, a school, and she's got to communicate with every single one of those parents and take payment from them, and then check if the payment's gone through, and then send I mean, that's a lot of work for one person. Whereas if you've got a system, it's like, okay, the person goes in here, puts their credit card details in, all securely, obviously, child's details, fills in the form system, create a whole system to capture all the data that she needs for her compliance, and she's like, it's done. It's done. All she needs to do is like turn up on the day, do the actual activity with these children, and everything else is done.
And it's a bit like also email automation. One of the things that I think is really noticeable about some of the things that we've built out is that, you know, when somebody contacts you, or they've put in their details, their email, if they get a follow-up email from you, from your business, even though it's automated, but it's addressed to them, they're far more likely to choose you as a business to engage with, because they've had an immediate response, rather than somebody filling out, say, a web form, and it goes to your info app page, and then somebody a week later trawls through that inbox and starts getting back to people. That isn't going to work. So there's a lot of little tips and tricks, aren't there, that we can share.
It's just building that relationship with the customers, and having all your systems, having social media that is actually communicating with your customers, talking to them about where they're at and the journey, and really interacting with them. It gives us the opportunity. I think there's never been a better time for anybody to start or own their own business. There's this playing field right now for people that are thinking of starting a business is just amazing. Like, there have never been as many tools as there are now for someone to do the work of 10 or 20 people. Literally one person can achieve what 20 people could achieve before, if they know how to leverage different tools that are out there. What do you think about AI? Because that's,
well, I think AI it's a bit of a, for me, it's sort of a bit of a 50-50 thing. I think that there is value in terms of asking AI to help with something, but I'm not sure it entirely covers the whole thing. You still need a person with the background expertise to actually check. And what you're very good at is actually the prompting. And I actually think that the skill is in the prompt, not in what the AI returns.
Yeah, well, that's very kind of you. I think one of the things is that I kind of developed techniques for prompting that I get really frustrated with people. You know that this is an actual story that has happened. I have people that will say, where do I find, I know this product? I go, I would just say, just Google it, right? They can have spent, they'll say, I've spent days Googling, I still haven't found it. And I roll my eyes because I can't believe it. And I just go in, and out comes the thing. They're like, how did you do that? And I'm like, I just asked Google the question in the right way. So I've developed the skill to be able to ask the right questions and have the right input into the AI, which means the outputs tend to be really quite good. And we often do this thing where you'll do the task and then I'll do it, and it comes out with quite different things.
It does, yeah. It depends. And and I think you could actually use AI to develop AI prompts. I think that would be a very clever thing.
Yes. And I still think the human input is so important. And I think there are so many variables that a human being can input into AI. So I could teach on this. I love AI, and I think the exciting thing for me about AI right now is that AI is actually helping humans to be more human.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what I don't know if you know what I mean by that. So what I mean by that is that some people are really scared of AI. They're like, oh my God, the world's taking over. That's been happening for decades now. AI is not new. It's been around for decades. And these kind of language models have been around for a while. It's generally just now that they're available to the public, but they've been around a while. Okay. So the thing is about AI is that if you use it to help you integrate your brain into the most logical, best part of you, it means that you can be what the AI can never be, which is your emotional, intuitive self.
Yes.
So you can almost sit back and be the you that you most enjoy being, and that also could be in a business, so that you let the AI take over menial, repetitive, and laborious tasks that would take away from your creativity.
Right. Yes. Perfect.
So that's where I see this symbiosis of humans with AI that I'm actually really excited by, because I think it has the potential to make you more human, to be able to lean into that human capacity of empathy, of all of these, beautiful skills that are to do with your higher self in a way, where you can kind of get rid of the robotic tasks, let the AI.
And AI can't do the other tasks.
No, it can't be more human than you. So I leverage. I like using the tools and leverage them, and I'm really excited about what that could do for ordinary people like us if they are open to using these tools. And I think it's great, and I think all small businesses should really consider embracing two things that people are intimidated by: AI and social media.
Yeah.
Those are the two things that people get really scared of. Social media. I don't do that. I'm not. Oh, the other thing that says I'm not technical.
Oh yeah.
That's my. And I'm like, okay. So do you have your phone? And they'll go, you have a mobile phone? Yeah, I do. Most people do, right? And they'll go, right. So do you have WhatsApp? And they'll go, yeah. Can you send a WhatsApp? Yeah. It's like, well, most of the tasks that, when we prepare things for businesses, it would just be the same as sending a WhatsApp message. Can you do that? And they go, oh yeah, I can do that. I'm like, okay, well, that's how we're going to get your business to run. So it's as easy as sending a WhatsApp. Oh, I can do that then. See, so you give them the confidence that they realise that this really intimidating world actually isn't so intimidating. It's really simple, and good processes should always be simple to remove as much human error as possible. Right. So that's kind of where I sit on that. What do you sit on these things?
Well, yeah, I mean, going back to the AI thing, I mean, the thing that I find amusing with AI and realizing that you can't take the human out of it really is the old adage where it's, you ask AI a question like, if it takes 1 hour to dry one towel on a clothesline, how long does it take to dry 3 towels? And of course, it then says 3 hours. Now, of course, course. So
is that even true?
It has been refined because it's been asked that question a few times, but there are some, it can't get around its standard logic. It comes back with a logical answer for things, and so I think there are some limitations.
Some craziness to it.
But it is useful in terms of you can ask it to write pieces of literature for you, and you can then say to it, "Oh, now change that to the style of somebody else." And I like.
Well, some people don't like that. Some people.
I love that.
There are people wincing listening to this because they would say that would be removing the art from the artist.
Yes.
Whereas I actually see it slightly different. I don't 100% agree with that description of it, but I would say that if you are somebody who's a creative person, sometimes there are little blocks in creativity that are really silly. They're really, really silly. It can be something like, oh, I need to write this essay, but I just don't know where to start on this. And I wouldn't say that it's a good idea to get the AI to do all of your creative work, but I would say help me with the structure because I'm stuck on. And then it will say, okay, there's a structure, and you go and suddenly you unblock. You unblock and you just go, whoa, and now, it will say, give me a list of authors in this style that I should be reading, for instance, and it will start giving. So you can work with it symbiotically.
It can prompt you back.
Yes, and I think that's where the superpowers lie, where you become more human.
Yes.
And you just allow it to unblock you when you're like having. I actually sometimes would go to the AI. I'm having a bad day today, and it'll go, I'm so sorry to hear that. How can I help? This is exactly what I needed to hear. I'm having a bad headache. I'm having a bad headache. I'm having a bad day, and this and so has happened with this person. So it's blah blah blah, and I'm having this particular problem. Don't worry, I'm here to assist you. Thank you so much. Have you considered this and this? I thought, no, I haven't considered that. And perhaps you might want to do this solution and that solution. That's a great idea. And I'm like, suddenly you unblock yourself and then you go off and fix the problem. It's not fixing the problem. It's just you're wired neurologically to either to fight or flight. So I tend to freeze and then I'll freeze in my brain. I'm like, I don't know how to have a solution for this stressful thing. And the AI is like, don't worry, there are many solutions and I'm going to help you. And the fact that somebody's there to step in for a moment, it just can be just a moment. Your brain relaxes and you can be more human again.
And probably more creative when your brain relaxes.
More creative again. So I love leveraging that. But in terms of small businesses and the people that we're helping, our clients and our communities that we're building, I mean, this is an absolute must, isn't it, for them to kind of leverage.
Yeah. And I think the thing is that what we want to do is help as people, because we've spent a lot of time and effort, haven't we, learning a lot about on this topic, and we want to share that with people.
That's right. We've got
no point us having the knowledge and keeping it when we can be put our benevolent hat on and saying what can we do to actually share this.
Absolutely. And the thing,
fast track the process.
Absolutely. Interestingly, I think one of the things that we have been traveling with this, we have met, I would say, definitely the most successful digital marketers in the world.
Definitely.
People that are in surpassing 1 billion beyond, and they happen to be our mentors. These are the people that we've learned from the craft. So we feel quite confident that we are kind of we know best practice and we are implementing it wherever we can and refining it and perfecting it. Because your best practice is also about going back in and like refining the thing, but also being brave enough to put something out there that isn't perfect and then go back in and perfecting it. And with the digital landscape as it is, that is just so, it really lends itself to experimenting with an idea and quickly getting feedback on that idea, and seeing what the market wants and then going and chiseling your way and crafting your way through that, which is the human element of it. The
other thing I was going to say as well is feeding into that as well is that we would work very closely with anybody that wanted to engage with us in terms of measuring the results, because we would set out with you some things that in terms of targets, look at what those results are, look at any advertising as well that's done, and then look at what those percentages, what the open rate is on emails, what the the advert uptake is, the cost,
click-through rate.
Click-through rates are, because that's very important to know how well you're doing. Because obviously, from a number of our clients that work with us on a sort of a monthly basis and want to go month to month to month, we've then got to actually be able to sit down with you and say, these are the wins that we've had this month, and we keep going.
And that's the thing. And one of the things we're really blessed with is such an amazing team, and you know, kind of now building our own reputation as a brand out there, that when we've gone to conferences, we'll say, you know, oh, what do you do? Da, da, da. We either say sweet liberation or Zukr. So just put it, we can just confidently say, just put it in Google.
Yes.
And then see what comes up. And up comes the mountain of stuff that we've now been putting out now for 2-3 years. But we were able to win that game really quite early on in our journey, just from implementing some of the strategies that I'd already learned.
Yes.
So we hit the ground running in many ways, and that's the thing that we can share with our clients. So it's kind of utilizing best practice, being in the trenches. People are much more likely, I think, to know that you are going to give them good advice if you're in the trenches with them. Like we are, this is stuff we are trying and testing ourselves, and we've been, you know, we've grown our lists, we've grown our community, and we're there. Kind of, we're not, you know, some of our video content's gone viral. You've gone viral a few times. You've been in a newspaper. That was cool.
With the viral content, yes, that was a TikTok, wasn't it?
That was a TikTok.
Yes, and helping people with that, and knowing that you're working with a team of people that are getting those results. And the reason I mentioned the monthly is it removes the risk as well. We're not asking people to make. You know, some people come to us and they say that, you know, the amount of money that they've been quoted for actually building a system.
Some of this for sure. I think some of the things that the standard of the work that we deliver for people is, you know, we know that is coming normally with a ticket, a price of, you know, 50 to 100K easy. You said all day long. All day long. But we are very selective who we work with.
We can't work for everybody. We can't work with
but
50 clients ring us tomorrow. We'd have to turn 40 away.
We can't do that. But because we want to also deliver high quality. So onboarding too many people, our quality suffering, our reputation risk as well. We don't want to involve ourselves in that. But yeah, we're so committed, and we only want for clients what we want for ourselves. So like they're onboarded in the family. They're taken care of, and you know, they become one of the team. We will work with them as if we're putting out our own content. It's that serious, and we make sure that, you know, that we can create a sustainable growth model for their business. And we have a team that can grow with them as well. So we've got a service that we can provide. So how should people reach out to us then, Luke?
Well, we're going to put a link below this video, and of course people can Google, as you say.
Just Google.
They can Google Zukr, they can Google Sweet Liberation, but certainly you can reach out to us on that, or our email, Luke at Zukr, ZUKR.co.uk, or Nabila. Nabila at Zukr.co.uk.
Yeah, or DM us from this
post.
Yeah, absolutely. Reach out. I mean, we are asked a lot to give support and help, so we are very selective who we do take on, but we're happy to have a conversation, and particularly if you are really struggling with getting a digital presence for your business and going out there and being with the heavy hitters in the digital landscape, you know, that's something that we love, and we are not
jump on a discovery call.
We jump on a call and see if it's something that we can help you with, and if it's not, we will be very upfront and say that we can't help you with that. But yeah, we're not intimidated by the digital landscape. We love it. We're in it, and we know that business, the reason people must embrace this opportunity is because this is a time like no other time for businesses to grow. That's the key here, is that, you know, we're not talking about small opportunities. These are opportunities that there have never been for businesses that are serving, you know, their customers, their clients, to be able to do that at such a high level. And it's such a shame when businesses aren't taking this opportunity. They really can create an incredible business model that gives them a lot more freedom and time when we're able to travel, which is something we love. You know, we enjoy it, and that's because we've we've embraced this digital landscape and given ourselves the opportunity to be able to travel and enjoy traveling, while still being able to do business and do business. So reach out if you are interested to have a conversation with us. One of our team will reach out to you and we can kind of have a call and have a chat about it. But we're certainly here to support businesses to thrive. Sweet liberation. Sweet liberation, yes. And we'll see you on the next podcast. So Sweet Liberation podcast on the on YouTube. Also we have our website for the podcast, which is sweetliberationpodcast.com. Our podcast is now hitting charts all over the world. It's often in the top 5, if not top 10 health and lifestyle podcasts in tier 1 countries like the UK and Canada and the US. So it's exciting because we're kind of out there just doing the work, being diligent and doing what we are taught. We have been taught. We are implementing it. If we're told that this is best practice, we just go out and there and do it. And so this is the time for people to embrace that.
Perfect.
Cool. So until hopefully next time, do catch us on Sweet Liberation Podcast on YouTube. Follow us on our social channels, and we look forward to hearing from you. And tell us if you're struggling as well with your business or getting on digital, or if you're intimidated by social media. Then let us know your stories and how is business going for you these days. Take care.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.